Today I will be teaching my class over teenage drinking. I feel that this topic is a topic that each high school student should be able to talk about and really elaborate about. By the end of this course, my students will be able to identify the problems that teenage drinking causes. After this presentation, my students will be able to help create new ways to prevent teenage drinking. My students will be able to break off into groups and create a PowerPoint on how they will help prevent teenagers from drinking. What is considered teenage drinking? Teenage drinking is a risk that attracts many developing adolescents and teens. When young people try alcohol, they often don't realize the damaging effects drinking can have on their own lives, their families, and their communities. Interesting facts. Youth who've been drinking before the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to develop alcohol dependencies or abuse as adults. Each year, approximately 5,000 young people under the age of 21 die as a result of underage drinking. Young adults have the highest rate of alcohol dependency in the U.S. population, and they are not legally old enough to drink. Teenagers drink less frequently than adults, but when they do drink, they drink more than adults. Teenage drinking is a risk factor for heavy drinking later in life. Approximately 10% of 9 to 10-year-olds have started drinking alcohol. Teenage drinking stats. According to the 2013 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 35.1% of 15-year-olds report that they have had at least one drink in their lives. About 8.7 million people ages from 12 to 20, 22.7% of this age group reported drinking alcohol in the past month. 23% are males and 22.5% are females. According to the 2013 NSD-UH, approximately 5.4 million people, about 14.2% ages 12 through 20, overconsume alcohol. 15.8% are males and 12.4% are females. According to the 2013 NSD-UH, approximately 1.4 million people, about 3.7% ages 12 through 20, engage in heavy drinking. 4.6% are males and 2.7% are females. Why is underage drinking a problem? Kids who begin drinking by the age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol abuse dependence than those who wait until 21. The risk drops for every year that initial alcohol use is delayed. 40% risk before age 15, 10% risk after age 21. With as little as one drink, alcohol impairs normal brain function in adolescents more than adults. Each episode of heavy drinking among adolescents and young adults can result in impaired learning, memory function for up to 2 weeks. Alcohol-related traffic crashes are the leading causes of death and disabilities among teenagers. Alcohol is a major factor in all of the other leading causes of death and injury among teenagers: homicide, suicide, burns, drownings, and falls. Alcohol use has been strongly linked to depression, sexually transmitted diseases, and date rape and other criminal behavior, both as particular perpetrator and as victim. Risk factors. 5,000 people under age 21 die each year from alcohol-related car crashes, homicides, suicides, alcohol poisoning, and other injuries such as falls, burns, and drowning. Serious injuries: more than 190,000 people under the age of 21 visit an emergency room for alcohol-related injuries in 2008 alone. Impaired judgment can cause kids to make poor decisions, which can then result in risky behavior like drinking and driving, sexual activity, or violence. Increased risk for physical and sexual assault: youth who drink are more likely to carry out or be the victim of a physical or sexual assault. Brain development problems: researchers show that the brain development continues well into a person's 20s. Alcohol can affect this development and contribute to a range of problems. Here are a few ways to prevent teenage drinking. Be aware of factors that may increase the risk of teen alcohol use. Signify social transactions such as graduating from middle school to high school, or getting driving license. A history of conduct problems, depression, and other serious emotional problems. A family history in alcoholism. Contact with peers involved in deviant activities. Be a positive adult role model. If you drink yourself, drink responsibly. That means not drinking too much or too often. Stay away from alcohol in high-risk situations. For example, don't drive or go boating when you've been drinking. Get help if you think you have an alcohol-related problem. Do not give alcohol to your teens. Tell them that any alcohol in your home is off limits to them and their friends. Work with schools, communities, and government to protect teens from underage alcohol use by ensuring that schools and community support and reward young people's decision not to drink. Rules about underage drinking is in place at home, at school, and in your community. Penalties for breaking the rules are well unknown. Rules are enforced at the same way for everyone. All laws about underage alcohol use are well known and enforced, in parties and social events at home and elsewhere don't permit underage drinking. Support your children and teens and give them space to grow. Be involved in your teens' lives. Be loving and caring. Encourage your teens' growing independence, but set appropriate limits. Make it easy for your teens to share information about their lives. Know where your teens are, what they're doing, who they're with, and who their friends are. Find ways for your teens to be involved in family life, such as by doing chores or caring for a younger brother or sister. Set clear rules, including rules about alcohol use. Enforce the rules you set. Help your teens find ways to have fun without alcohol. Don't let your teens attend parties where school is served. Make sure alcohol isn't available at teen parties in your home. Help your teens avoid dangerous situations such as riding in a car driven by someone who has been drinking. Help your teens get professional help if you're worried about their involvement with alcohol. Discussion topics. Me and my students will go over each topic so I will be able to get a better feel on how they feel about each questions, and then we'll discuss and go in depth about each question. The purpose of this activity is so that my students will be able to discuss in a formal fashion about this topic.